So, day three is in the books, and it was pretty eventful. Pretty eventful. Day three started with game two between the Rangers and Carolina, and oh boy, the Rangers are screwed. Not even Zordon can help them. That's how bad it is. Um, by the way, if you don't get that reference, you were clearly born after what, 1999 or something. But anyway, yeah, the Rangers were decimated. They were embarrassed in Game Two, a 4-1 victory with three of the goals coming from Andrei Svechnikov, first hat trick in the history of the Hartford Whalers / Carolina Hurricanes. So we're talking well over 40 years. So Carolina's one win away from moving on to the Sweet 16, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Um, but however, Winnipeg did what the Rangers couldn't do. That was bounce back for a week from a game one loss, and they had to play without Scheifele and Laine, but they got it done. Nikolai Ehlers got that game-winning goal in the middle of the third period, and it held up. Final score 3-2. Jets take game two and even this thing 1-1. Now, uh, day three also saw a pair of round robin games. The only four teams left who hadn't played yet. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals played each other, and pretty close, tight game. We got the first bit of overtime after we narrowly had round robin overtime in the Colorado game, and uh, and it led to and it ended up being settled in a shootout, and Tampa Bay won the shootout 2-1 to take the round robin. Now, as I said before, the round robin games have regular season overtime, 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3, and a shootout if nobody scores that overtime. It's the qualifying round series. It's those games that have the long playoff overtime, 20 minutes, 5-on-5, played till somebody scores. Uh, so we actually got a shootout, overtime to shootout in the round robin. Tampa Bay took it, which means after one game in the East round robin, Tampa has 2 points. Philly has 2 points. Washington has one, but the Boston Bruins, the 100-point team that entered this whole thing, shut out at the moment. And so yeah, so Boston's got some ground to cover. Meanwhile, the other round robin game in the West, Vegas and Dallas faced each other. Now, that was a crazy one. Vegas scored first, but Dallas put up three unanswered. But Vegas would fall with four unanswered. So Vegas won 5-3, and now everybody in the West round robin has played. But after one, it's Colorado and Vegas with 2 points each, while Dallas and St. Louis, the defending champions, none. And according to the only tiebreaker is regular season win percentage. So at the moment, as it stands right now, Colorado is in the lead for the race for the number one seed. Um, and after that, Pittsburgh, they rebounded from that overtime loss on Saturday. The Penguins took the lead and never looked back. Crosby scored the first goal, and the 1-0 score held up um, until they scored in the middle of the third period. Well, actually, about right around the latter few minutes of the third period. Montreal ended the shutout big later, but an empty netter sealed it. So Pittsburgh pretty much saved themselves a bit. It's a 1-1 series, but they better keep it up, or else they could be looking on the bad end of a very crazy upset. And Edmonton rebounded and won 6-3 behind Connor McDavid's hat trick. And about that, um, the hat trick. Now there have been two hat tricks today. Svechnikov in the first game, and the last game played today, it was Connor McDavid. Now, obviously, tradition is when the home player scores a hat trick, fans just toss hats on the ice. However, there were no fans, obviously. But we saw what happened was a bunch of staff workers at the arena, they came down and tossed hats, and I thought that was just awesome. So, um, yeah, Connor, and what made the difference? What made the difference in that game was they started their other goalie. Mike Smith started game one and got shelled. Mikko Koskinen, who many would say was the better of the two, he started today and he gave up three. He gave up three, but it's way better than Smith, who was just shelled in game one. So yeah, so that made a difference. And Chicago's gonna have to do the same because I know Corey Crawford. I've seen him. He's terrible. He is a terrible goalie. He gives up a lot of goals that any other goalie would just stop like that. So anyway, so day three is in the books. A nice sextet games. All well, not all close. Two 1 goal. Yeah, two 1 goal games. One of them went beyond regulation. Two 2 goal games and a pair of 3 goal games. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting day, and 2 hat tricks, of course, and a shootout. So a very eventful day three in the books. What's in store for tomorrow? Well then, it's another sextet of action, but the round robin takes a day off. These are all qualifying round games, and it starts with game two, Islanders and Panthers. Florida's trying to even things up. Uh, game two, Predators and Coyotes, with Nashville looking to even things up after that loss on Sunday. Toronto in Columbus game two. Toronto's looking to score and then even things up. Um, game three, game three of Calgary Winnipeg, and our first elimination game of this special playoffs. Carolina and the Rangers. Carolina can finish things off, and they say it could be Georgiev getting the start in net for the Rangers. We'll see if that helps them a bit. And it's game two of the Wild and the Canucks. Of course, the Wild shut out Vancouver in game one. Like I said, it's all qualifying round games. The round robin takes a siesta, and we'll be back in action on Wednesday with an East game, the Lightning and the Bruins, and the West game, the Avalanche and the Stars. So that's my recap of day three. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll be back tomorrow with a recap of day four. So until then, my fellow puckheads.